How are you guys tonight? Let me just make sure I have my Wi-Fi on. I think yeah. How's everybody? So we're doing the new thing, the 10 for 10. So, tonight's the very first one, and I spent a bunch of time and I broke down all the prices for you guys, and I came up with a whole series. And tonight's is dessert. And as you see the guest we have, that's the baby. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to start fussing here any minute, because why not, right? So anyway, we're going to start with dessert. But I made the whole meal for $10. It actually came out for two people, $9.40. And I'm going to break it down and show you a picture of that and break it down for price. But tonight's and every night, what my plan is 10 nights of one featured item. But then I'll show you the whole meal, because you don't want to stay on here while I cook the whole meal. So in the description is the thing that I'm cooking, but in the comments will be the picture and the breakdown, okay? I thought that would be the easiest way to handle this. How are you digging this hairdo? This is, I wore a hat today and then put this hair up. So anyway, let's start with this cobbler. I've made this before and it's fantastic. So I thought it would be an easy, and it's very inexpensive. Blueberries, depending on the season, of course, that would be where your biggest cost is. But the rest of it is super cheap. So, okay? So, we're going to make just little individual ones, one for each of us. And you're going to start with blueberries, of course, makes sense. So we're going to put blueberries in here. This is so simple. And then we're going to use, I don't know if you guys have used this, but it's just a thickening agent. Instead of using like a cornstarch, this is the keto version of that. Because cornstarch, of course, has carbs. So, like everything else, right? So I split this in half. So I'm not going to tell you the measurements. The measurements are above, but my measurements and what's above are going to be different. So I'm not even going to bother telling you what they are. I'm just going to do it, okay? That's just a thickening agent, and you don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's totally, the only reason I'm using it is I have it. I have a friend who was keto, decided not to be keto, decided to move, and she gave me like a box full of stuff. So that was one of the things. So it worked out good, but it's not something I would normally use, okay? So then we're gonna use the sweetener, and I enjoy, my favorite is monk fruit. I always use it. Now, I broke down the prices, you guys, and you're going to be really surprised at how cheap it really is. Yes, originally when you buy it, it does look like it's expensive. But when you break it down, because recipes don't call for very much, right? This recipe is only a total of 4 tablespoons of sweetener in the whole recipe. So it is just a matter of sense of what you're putting into this recipe. But when you buy it and you look at this little bag that's $12 or $11, whatever it was, it's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot compared to cane sugar. But when you break it down, you're talking pennies. I think it was 60 cents for the sweetener for the whole recipe. So that's not very much, okay? So we added the gum. Now we're gonna add the sweetener. Let me get the measurement on that. Sometimes when I talk and cook, measurements aren't so great. So, and remembering that I already halved it is the other problem. There we go. Sweetener. And then a little lemon juice. And I always just buy 100% lemon juice. I don't go for squeezing, even though I have the tools and all of that. I just don't do it. It always is such a mess. Where's the teaspoon? So, who's keto? So, I forgot to tell you guys, I sent out a text earlier for when I went live, and I asked on the text that you would share. So, the series that I'm fixing to do here is 10 recipes or 10 meals for $10 or less. And so this is a great one to start sharing. And this is the first one, and today's feature is the dessert. But so if you could share those out so that people can see that keto, low carb does not have to be expensive, I would really appreciate it. I'm only allowed to share so many, and I'll get kicked out of groups and all that garbage. I'm just trying to show value, you know. I need your help. So if you would do that, I'd appreciate it. Okay? All right, so we have the berries, the gum, the sweetener, and the lemon juice. That's it. Now you're just gonna mix it until you see a coating on the berries. See how they all have that sugar coating on them? And you're gonna wanna make sure that gum, just like cornstarch when we used to use that, isn't clumping anywhere because you'll taste it. And then I'm using like individual containers. So we're gonna just pop that right in there. And then I'm gonna use a spatula and make sure. What's up, baby? What's up? Huh? What you doing? He's watching me. He loves to watch me cook. He sat here while I cooked the first one, watched the whole thing. That's what he's been doing. He just had a nice little, he loves bananas. So he had some bananas in a bottle. He's totally content. He loves that little new seed I got him. Actually, I didn't get it for him, but I'm using it. All right, now the blueberries are in here. And I did individuals because I split it up between the two of them. But you could use an actual casserole dish, you know? All right, now we're gonna put the crumbs on top. So you wanna go grab him now, babe? And we're gonna do some butter, melt that in the microwave. Yeah, honey? Ryan's coming to the rescue. I can hear him. Lori, look who's cooking with me. Baby. Yeah. He was really close to me when we started this, but he's learning and he's pushing backwards. So he doesn't stay with me for very long. So we're gonna melt the butter in the microwave, and then we're gonna add the crumbs to the top of this. This recipe is so easy. So my oven is at 375. Now it does cook for a little time. I think I cooked that first one for 25 minutes. So it does take a little bit of time to cook, but it's okay because we're gonna eat dinner and then it'll be ready when we get done, and then make a little whipped topping if you want. You could eat it, you could make some homemade ice cream, or you could just eat it plain. That'll be good too. All right, the butter's melted. In with the butter, we're gonna add some almond flour. Almond flour, some more sweetener. Again, there's only been a total of 2 tablespoons of sweetener in this whole recipe, so not a lot. What you doing, baby? Oh. And then a little more zest. They actually call for zest, but because I don't have zest, I'm just using a little bit of lemon juice in it. So tell me, who's cooked keto? Who's low carb? What are you guys following out there? And are you excited about the 10 for 10? I had a friend email me and ask me to do the series. I should have tagged her in this. I'll make sure I go back and do that. And so I've done a lot of research. And for me, this is kind of easy because I deal with, I have a restaurant. So I break down prices all the time. So it wasn't hard for me to do that. Just took a little time. Okay, so you're going to, I added a little more almond flour to make it more crumbly. Okay? All right. Now you're just going to take this is going to be the crumbs eventually when it cooks, and you're just going to top the top of your cobbler. Can you guys see that okay? I don't have stuff in the way, do I? Sometimes with the comments I can't really see. Where are you guys coming from? Tell me. I'm in Washington, Idaho border. I've been keto for about year and a half now. Love it. Okay, that's it. Let me show you. Okay, so that's the topping. There's the blueberry mix. Okay, we're gonna pop it into the oven for 20 minutes. Baby's being so good. Oh. All right, now here's the finished product. Doesn't that look good, you guys? Yeah. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Trina. All right. I'm gonna take a bite. It's gonna be hot. It's not bad. Hi, Bonnie. That is so good. A little bit of whipped cream. Yum. So good. Yum. Yeah. There it is. So easy, so good. Takes a little time. Let me set that timer. Okay, so that was the number one. So that cobbler for 2 people was that cobbler should feed 4 when you make it all together in a big thing. And it's only $1.86 per person. So, pretty cheap. It was $7.43 to make the whole thing because of the blueberries. They were a little bit expensive when I bought them. Everything else was super cheap. So I have the whole meal here, and I'm going to include that in the comments with a picture of my dinner, okay? So then I'll show you the picture, how much everything costs. So this is one of 10, and every night I'll do something different. So a dessert, a side dish, a main dish, we'll go from there, okay? But the whole meal won't cost more than $10. So please share, and please, if you're not already following me, touch my nose, follow. And if you have any other cool ideas like this, I would love to tackle them. I thought it would be fun I ordered one of those waffle makers, so we'll do a whole series on that. And I have an air fryer, maybe we can do a series on that. So just start doing some fun things. But that's what I use, Deborah, is frozen. That's why they were a little more expensive. If I would have just went to the farmer's market, they would have been cheap. But I was in a pinch, so I bought frozen. They're delicious, but a little more costly. So anyway, that's it. It's that easy, you guys. So I appreciate you taking the time out to watch me. I'm going to go have dinner, and I will put in the comments. The description tells you what it's all about, and then I'll put in the comments a picture of my food, okay? Mwah. Bye, guys.